So we just arrived for our first tourist destination of Dyrham Park, and it's exactly how I remembered it before. It's spectacular views coming down on the walk down the hilly entrance to it. Originally there were magnificent fountains here, but now it's just a very pastoral view. It's just beautiful.
The 270-acre deer park is home to a herd of fallow deer, ancient lime trees, and horse chestnuts, and is a haven for wildlife. There will be more on the horse chestnuts later in the film. On the southeastern side of the house is an orangery, which was built as a greenhouse in 1701. It has a glazed roof, which was added around 1800. The current house was built for William Blathwayt during the 17th and early 18th centuries on the site of a previous manor house. It contains artworks and furniture from around the world, particularly Holland, and includes a collection of Dutch masters. One of my favorite rooms is wallpapered in an Italian embossed and gilded leather. You can see by this example how it must have been quite remarkable with the candlelight reflecting on it in the past. The rooms here have a lot of Dutch influence in the antiques and the tapestries. You can see the blue and white tulip vases. This tapestry has Diogenes giving advice, or rather not wanting to give advice to people seeking him out. And the other tapestry shows Apollo and his followers. There's a lot of trompe-l'oeil in the house, such as the marbleized or the faux marbleized walls. But the most impressive trick of the eye painting is called View of a Corridor. It's by Hoogstraten, and it's hung in the hallway just as the artist wanted. It's just quite a masterpiece to look at.
It's a painting of the siege of La Rochelle when the French lay siege to the Huguenots in La Rochelle. The English aided them. You can see the English fleet had come in a bit to give them supplies and things up in the harbor. But it's a famous painting, and then the artist did another painting up there on the stairwell of, right here, of the demolition of Algiers, and these were companion pieces for the estate here.
William Blathwayt, the owner, was the Auditor General of the colony of Virginia, even though he never crossed the Atlantic. And so he created a atlas so that he could study the different colonies.
beautiful entrance to Durham Park. The main road that we approached, it didn't exist at the time Durham was built. But as you can see, this is a reconstruction of a formal garden. Originally it would have had acres and acres of gardens and fountains and beautiful walkways, but they've done a wonderful job here. And you can see the Durham and also the church that is attached to it.
Above the entrance, you can see the statue of Hermes with his winged hat and winged shoes, and in hand he is holding his caduceus, his magic wand, as he goes to send the messages to the gods. It's such a treat for Ed and I to be able to do our drawings. Ed, what's your impression of Durham Park?
Well, it's my first impression of one of the great houses in England, and it's just been great. The gardens and the house and the interiors. Beautiful, beautiful to see it.
So this is an ancient chestnut tree, and these are the nuts. They're called Conkers, and you wait until they get ripe, and then inside you see the seed. This one I took out prematurely, and it's white, but as it matures, it becomes a brown nut, and you try to get the biggest ones, because apparently you put a string through here, and then there's a game where you're hitting each other's conkers and you see who wins. So lots of people are collecting these today, the conkers from the chestnut tree.
Oh, this one's off.
So do you all also collect them to play that game?
Play Conkers, yeah.
So you put a string on it, and then you
Drill a hole through it, string on there, and then you
hit
one
each
against
other,
the other. Yeah, one against the other.
and then when it falls off, or how do you win?
So if one conker stays on the string and the other one comes off, the one that stays on is the winner.
Excellent, and that's a good specimen there, isn't it?
He's a good one. Yeah. He's a proper one.
So I just found this conker. It's an incredible specimen, and I think I'll be winning the game with this. Oh, geez. So this is the second fall for the day.
I'm just resting.
I was the first victim. I fell down the hill on the slippery grass, and now Ed has. He says he's just relaxing.
Yeah, just
but,
wake me when it's mealtime.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's kind of precarious with the slippery ground, but I don't think there's any broken bones.
I'm gonna need a hand up, I think.
This is a rare example of standing deadwood, and it has a beautiful layered fungus growing on it. And so we end our day at Durham Park, having seen an incredible manor house and gardens, and only fallen down twice.